Shabbat Shalom from Temple Concord. This week in our Torah portion, we'll be reading the Torah portion Noach. And most of us know the first part of that story very well. It's the story of Noah and the ark. And it's a wonderful story of God's anger and rebuilding the world, and Noah, and whether he's righteous for all time or just within his generation, and saving the animals and on. The second part of that story, though, is an equally important one, and that's the story of the Tower of Babel. Babel starts as a community where everybody speaks the same language, but their ideas get confused and they lose sight of priorities. And in time, this community that knew what it was doing became a community that was dysfunctional. It was a community that valued things over people, that thought they could do more, thought they were God, and lost the sense of holiness that comes with being human. I think every community struggles with that, and every community has highs and lows. Certainly our community has had higher moments and lower moments and moments in between. The trick is recognizing where we are and building to where we want to be. We're on that track now. And at Babel, they had to go through a disaster to find out that they couldn't do things as they were doing them. And people ended up having new languages, as our tradition teaches us. That's where all the new languages of the world come from. For us, we don't have that problem, but we did have to go through difficult times. But we can learn the lesson of Babel and prevent an even bigger problem. So our Torah portion tells us, recognize where you are, be self-aware, work hard to accept where you are, and work even harder to get where you want to be. Next week we'll actually celebrate the first part of Noah even more when next Saturday night, a week from now, we go out to the zoo and have our annual Noah's Ark evening at the zoo with zookeeper and the animals and all the fun stuff. In the meantime, this week we will have services at 7:30. We have a Tat Shabbat service that begins at 6 o'clock, and then a potluck, and then services at 7:30. Shabbat morning we have our Torah study at 10 and our Leiled Minyan at 11. And in the evening, Saturday night, we have a wonderful concert here of classical music. Andy Russo will be playing on the piano, accompanied by Jeremy Mastrangelo on violin, who was one of the lead violin players for the symphony. And a cello will be there also. It promises to be a wonderful evening of classical music. I hope you'll join us. Sunday, our beginning Hebrew class starts at 10 a.m. Next week on Tuesday, Dr. Barry Berg will be speaking as part of our Scholars Series. And next weekend, as I said, on Saturday evening, we'll join together at 5 o'clock at the zoo for a wonderful evening together. For now, I wish you Shabbat Shalom, a Shabbat of peace and happiness, and a week filled with the joy of working towards a shared goal. Shabbat Shalom.